The ocean is not just water and waves, it is power, strategy, survival, and control of global movement. In modern warfare, naval strength decides how far a nation can project its influence across continents, how effectively it can protect its trade routes, and how quickly it can respond to global conflicts. Among the most discussed naval forces in the world today are the United States Navy and the Iranian Naval Forces, each built with completely different strategies, doctrines, and limitations, yet both shaped by the geopolitical realities of their regions and global ambitions. The United States Navy is the largest and most technologically advanced naval force in the world. It operates across all major oceans with a global presence that no other navy can match. Its strength lies in its carrier strike groups, nuclear-powered submarines, advanced destroyers, and an extensive network of overseas bases. At the center of its power are aircraft carriers, floating air bases that can carry dozens of fighter jets, surveillance aircraft, and support systems. These carriers allow the United States to project air and sea power anywhere in the world within days. Alongside this, nuclear submarines provide silent but deadly underwater capabilities, capable of launching ballistic missiles and remaining submerged for months without surfacing. The integration of satellite communication, advanced radar systems, and cyber warfare capabilities makes the U.S. Navy not just a physical force, but a highly connected digital battlefield network operating across oceans. In contrast, the Iranian naval forces are structured very differently, shaped by regional constraints, asymmetric warfare strategy, and defensive priorities. Iran operates two main naval branches, one under the regular military structure and the other under the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The regular naval force focuses more on traditional naval operations, including patrol, defense of territorial waters, and limited blue water capabilities in strategic areas like the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. The Revolutionary Guard naval forces, however, follow a different doctrine entirely. Instead of matching larger navies ship for ship, they rely on speed, surprise, missile technology, fast attack boats, and asymmetric tactics designed to disrupt and challenge superior naval powers in narrow waters. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the most strategically important maritime choke points in the world, becomes the focal point of Iran's naval strategy. A significant percentage of global oil trade passes through this narrow waterway, making control or disruption of this region a major geopolitical leverage point. When comparing these two naval forces, the difference is not just in size or equipment, but in philosophy. The United States Navy is built for global dominance, power projection, and multi-theater operations. It is designed to operate simultaneously in the Atlantic, Pacific, Indian Ocean, and beyond. Its doctrine emphasizes overwhelming force, technological superiority, and coordinated multi-domain warfare involving air, sea, space, and cyber elements. Every carrier strike group is essentially a floating military base capable of independent operations, supported by cruisers, destroyers, supply ships, and submarines working as a unified combat system. The U.S. Navy also invests heavily in research and development, continuously upgrading its fleet with new stealth technologies, hypersonic weapons, unmanned systems, and advanced electronic warfare capabilities. Iran's naval strategy, on the other hand, is built around denial and disruption rather than global dominance. It recognizes that it cannot match the United States ship for ship, so it focuses on making the cost of engagement extremely high for any adversary. This includes swarm tactics, using large numbers of small, fast boats, coastal missile batteries, naval mines, and anti-ship ballistic missiles. In confined waters like the Persian Gulf, these tactics can create significant challenges even for technologically superior fleets. The geography itself becomes a strategic weapon. Narrow waterways, shallow waters, and proximity to land-based missile systems give Iran certain tactical advantages despite its overall smaller naval size. Another major difference lies in nuclear capability. The United States Navy operates nuclear-powered submarines and aircraft carriers, giving it unmatched endurance and global reach. These vessels do not rely on traditional fuel logistics and can remain deployed for extremely long durations. Iran, however, operates conventionally powered submarines and surface vessels, which limits its endurance and range, but still allows it to maintain strong regional deterrence within its immediate maritime zones. While the U.S. focuses on sustained global deployment, Iran focuses on concentrated regional defense. Technology also creates a significant gap between the two forces. The U.S. Navy uses advanced Aegis combat systems, satellite-guided missile systems, stealth aircraft like the F-35 operating from carriers, and integrated global surveillance networks. Every movement of its fleet is supported by real-time intelligence gathered from satellites, drones, and allied military networks. Iran, while improving its domestic defense industry, relies more on indigenous missile development, electronic warfare systems designed to jam or disrupt enemy communications, and reverse-engineered technologies. Its strength lies not in matching high-end platforms, but in creating cost-effective systems that can still pose threats in specific scenarios. Training and operational experience also differ greatly. The U.S. Navy has decades of continuous global operations, participating in conflicts, humanitarian missions, maritime security patrols, and multinational exercises. This provides extensive real-world combat readiness and interoperability with allied navies, such as those of NATO countries. Iranian naval forces, while experienced in regional tensions and asymmetric engagements, operate primarily within a limited geographic scope. Their experience is concentrated in defensive and deterrence-based operations rather than large-scale global naval warfare. Despite these differences, both forces play crucial roles in global maritime security dynamics. The United States Navy acts as a stabilizing force in international shipping lanes, ensuring freedom of navigation across major trade routes. It also serves as a deterrent against large-scale maritime conflicts and supports allied nations during crises. Iranian naval forces, meanwhile, act as a regional power checker, influencing the strategic calculations of larger naval powers in the Middle East and maintaining control over critical choke points that affect global energy supply chains. In a hypothetical confrontation scenario, the outcome would depend heavily on geography, rules of engagement, and escalation levels. In open ocean warfare, the technological and logistical superiority of the United States Navy would provide a decisive advantage. Its carrier groups, submarine fleet, and air support systems are designed for sustained dominance in blue water environments. However, in constrained and highly localized waters, asymmetric tactics, missile saturation strategies, and geographic positioning could create significant operational challenges, even if only temporarily. Ultimately, the comparison between these two naval forces is not simply about which is stronger, but about how each is designed for entirely different strategic realities. One is built for global reach and technological dominance, the other for regional deterrence and asymmetric resistance. Both reflect the political, economic, and geographic conditions of their nations. In modern geopolitics, naval power is no longer just about battleships and aircraft carriers. It's about information dominance, missile networks, submarine stealth, cyber warfare, and the ability to control critical maritime choke points. The United States Navy and Iranian naval forces represent two different answers to the same question of maritime security in the 21st century, one answering through overwhelming global capability,